Hello everyone, today is my first Java course and we will be talking about Java primitive types. So in Java programming language, we have two different types, primitive types and reference type. And you have to know that all reference type are based on primitive types. So what is one bit? The bit is basic unit of information in information theory, computer and digital communication. So this piece of hardware can represent one bit. So in Java there is 8 primitive types. Boolean stored in 1 bit, a byte stored in 8 bits, short stored in 16 bits, int in 32 bits, long 64 bits, etc. So as a requirement, you have to get Eclipse installed on your machine in JDK 1.8 for further courses. In my case, I have a Spring Tool Suits, which is just a wrapper of Eclipse. So new Java project, primitive types. As you can see, I'm using JDK 1.8. If it's not your case, go on configure GRE and edit your path of your JDK to choose the JDK 1. Next, finish. Here I have my project created with GRE system library, which are the different jar to run Java program. So we create a class named main primitive, and I will generate a public static void main to execute my program. Finish. So here it's my class. To check if you don't have some problem with Eclipse, we just run a simple hello primitive. Run. So it's running, so I don't have problem with my Eclipse. So as we said, in Java we have 8 primitive types. First one is Boolean, stored in 1 bit. What does that mean? That a Boolean bool value bool value false does mean that a Boolean value can only contain two values. A Boolean variable can only contain two values, true or false. True is good too, but if I put some number, it's not working. So false. So next primitive will be byte, which is stored in 8 bits. What does that mean? How can we get the max value of this primitive type and the minimum value? You have to do some calculus. 2 power 8 equal 256. So that's the range of this primitive type. And byte can contain negative and positive value. So we have to divide this value by 2. The result will be 128. So byte, I will create a byte primitive variable. Max byte val equal this value. It's not working. Why? It will be out of range. Because this is the range of this primitive type byte. So we divide by 2 to have the range of positive and negative number, but in Java 0 is considered as positive. So it's included in positive range. So we have to do -1 to get the maximum value of byte, which is equal to 127. And 127 is working. So the minimum byte value will be -128. So the next primitive type will be short, stored in 16 bits. We have to do the same calculus. 2 power 16 equal, I have to use my calculator. Just put this on the right. So 2 power 16 equal this number, 65,536. I have to divide this number by 2 to get the maximum value afterwards. So by 2 equal this value. So what will be the maximum short value of primitive? Short max short val equal this value. It doesn't work, and we have to do -1. Now it's good. So the minimum short value will be equal to minus plus 1. So in Java, you can put underscore inside the number to better read this number. For example, here I can put this underscore here too. But you can't put this underscore anywhere. If I put this underscore here in the beginning of the number, it's not working. You can't do that. In the end of the number, it's not working. But inside it, it's working. I can put as many underscore inside the number, it's working. And if I try to display this one, I will get the number without underscore, of course. Put this variable here. Run. So I have my number without underscore. So Java lets you do this to better read a number. So I like to put it every 3 figures to better read my number. So next primitive type is int, stored in 32 bits. So the calculus will be the same, 2 power 32 equal some big number. I just prepared some this. So the calculus will be the same. So for int is stored in 32 bits, 2 power 32 equal this number divided by 2 equal this number minus 1. You have the maximum int value, and the minimum value, it's the result divided by 2, we add minus. Long is stored in 64 bits. Long's primitive type have some particularity. For example, I added a capital L in the end of the number. If I don't do this, it's not working, because Java by default consider that's an int number, but it's out of range of int because int doesn't any number can't be superior at this max value of int. So we have to add L to tell Java that it's a long value. That's the same for float. If I don't put f in the end of number, Java will consider that it's double. By default, it considers number it's double. Double is stored in 64 bits, so it's it's the biggest number in Java. So why we have this different storing value in bits? Because, for example, if you just using a simple counter in a Java program, you don't have to use double or long or float types because you will waste much memory. So it depends on the use case of your Java program. Prefer type for performance issue. And now in the last we have char type. Char is little special. We can put a letter inside or a number. And as we said, underscore, we can't put as many underscore as when it's inside the number. So we can divide this primitive type between numerical primitive types and Boolean primitive type, which contain only one types. Boolean primitive types, and here we can define two decimal numerical value here. Decimal primitive value. So we have two primitive value which are double and float. For example, we can't do this int val decimal equal 1.0. We can't do this because int is integer. All the other are numerical primitive type, numerical integer primitive type. We have 4. And for decimal primitive type, we only have 2. So we can't do that. But of course, we can't do that. Double value and there is no problem to put integer value inside double and not decimal. So thank you for watching this course, and I hope that further course will be a good one. Thank you.